All right, I don't want to delay this one. I've been thinking about this for 2 weeks. Today, we're making buffalo chicken mac and cheese. The first thing that we need to do is get our noodle batter, which is really simple. If you've seen my mac and cheese video before, it's just eggs and chicken. So here I have 1 pound of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I'll throw those right into a food processor. You can use a blender if you want to do this. It's just not nearly as easy as a food processor. Crack in your 2 eggs, put the lid on, and give it a couple pulses just to get it started, because you don't want to like full send this thing because it might launch your food processor into a different time and space. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And after 4, you're going to remember that you need to add a little bit of salt to this. I'm going to go with about a half a teaspoon of salt. And then we can pulse a couple more times. Then we're going to set it to low and just let it go. After a couple minutes, you should be left with something that's kind of a slurry of chicken and egg. And it should look a bit like this. Now what we need to do is get this out of here and into a piping bag. I'm gonna use a Ziploc bag. If you happen to have piping bags, that's fine. And there's no real glamorous way to do this if you've ever done this before. Simply just do your best, I suppose. Got it into the bag. Once it's all out of there, I'm gonna get it to 1 corner because this is gonna be our new piping bag. Don't cut the tip off yet. We could put this in the fridge to rest while we get some water boiling. And it's here. I'm gonna go ahead and put just a little bit of salt, maybe a half teaspoon. It doesn't really matter. Just salt your water. It's good practice if you're boiling things. I got my piping bag. I'm just going to cut off the corner with some scissors. And then I'm going to use my dominant hand, which is my right hand. And I'm going to gently squeeze. I'm going to use a knife to cut little noodles right into the water. There we go. Do this until it's all gone, basically. They should take roughly 2 minutes to cook, I believe. This is kind of the shape we're going for, like little gnocchi type things. And we're gonna let these cook for a couple minutes. And once they're cooked in the water, we also need to throw them onto a pan that's lined with foil. Because what we're gonna do is, once these are all cooked, we're gonna throw these into the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 10 to 15 minutes. All we're really trying to do is dry these out a little more, maybe even get a touch of color. And while those are in, we can go ahead and set up our dredging station for the buffalo chicken part of this mac and cheese. All I've got is some cut up chicken thighs into bite-sized pieces, aka boneless wings, a couple eggs, and some pork rinds. And finally, a piece of parchment that's gonna go into my air fryer because I will be air frying these. You can cook these however you want to if you don't have an air fryer. Taking a chicken piece, throw it into the egg, into my pork rind crumbs, give it a good coating, place it in on my parchment. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Just keep doing this until you're all done. So this is what we're left with, nice little chunks of coated chicken. I'm gonna throw these into the air fryer at 375 for about 15 minutes until they're nice and golden brown, a little crisp to the touch. And while these were in the air fryer, I went ahead and made my cheese sauce for the mac and cheese, which is gonna start with 144 grams of half and half, which is roughly 5 ounces. And I did grams because I'm going to be using sodium citrate to make our cheese sauce. If you don't want to use that, you don't have to use that. I'm only doing this just because I know that makes a better cheese sauce. I will leave in the description below an alternate version of this recipe for the cheese sauce, but for the purposes of the video, I'm going to be following this recipe. So I've added my half and half to my pan that's been set over medium heat. I'm going to add that, and then I'm going to add in 180 grams of sharp cheddar, or about 6.5 ounces. I'm going to sprinkle in my sodium citrate. This is 6.3 grams worth. 2 ounces of hot sauce of your choice. I'm using Crystal Louisiana hot sauce. And I'm gonna get a whisk and just start mixing that together. Basically what we're gonna do is heat this through until it is nice and smooth. And once it's there, we can turn the heat off, and then we'll want to season this up. This is simply a half teaspoon of salt, quarter teaspoon of pepper, quarter teaspoon of garlic powder, and a half teaspoon of onion powder. And what you should be left with is a nice, smooth, very cheesy sauce. So the cheese sauce is done. I think it's finally time to assemble this thing. To assemble this, I've got my chicken pasta ready. I'm gonna throw in about 1 ounce of shredded mozzarella. This isn't totally necessary, but what it's gonna do is allow me to get a nice, like, cheesy, like, meltiness through the whole thing. While I have my cheese sauce, I do want some real cheese texture going on too. And to this, I'm gonna add my cheese sauce. And then we're going to get a spatula and just gently fold all of this together. If you start going crazy with a spoon or whatever, it's gonna break this chicken up. You really want these to be kind of together. You want them to be whole pieces. That's pretty incorporated. That didn't take long at all. Now what we're gonna do is get our vessel of choice. And for me, it's gonna be a small cast iron pan. Just go ahead and throw that right in there. And then what I'm gonna do is take my chicken, throw it into a bowl, add just a little more hot sauce to that, get that coated, because I do want, buffalo chicken pieces on this as well. But I want this sauce to kind of cook in with this chicken. Take a little more mozzarella. I'm going to take this entire thing, just make sure it's a heat-safe dish. I'm going to throw it to the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes or until it is golden brown and bubbly. This is just so hot. The pan's hot, the chicken, everything's hot. Let me let this cool off for a few minutes and we'll come back and we'll give it a taste. Did anybody else see that squirrel? Anyways, let's go ahead and give this a taste. It smells so good. I'm worried that's still insanely hot. Oh yeah, it's definitely still really hot, but that's okay. Get a little piece of chicken. Well, I guess it's all chicken. It's mostly just chicken and cheese. Guys, this is going to burn my face off, but I'm doing it for you. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is probably the most decadent thing I've cooked on this channel so far. I didn't think about it. I didn't think about how much cheese was in this as I was developing it, but that's not a problem whatsoever. The tanginess from the crystal hot sauce cuts through all this insane amount of cheese really well, actually. I'm willing to bet you're only going to be able to maybe eat a quarter of this before you're like, I don't think I can eat this anymore. It's really good. It hits that mac and cheese spot. So if you and your family have been having a craving for mac and cheese, but you can't eat pasta or you're just not willing to eat pasta, and if you like buffalo things, this is a great version of this mac and cheese. This will hit that spot. I guarantee that. So y'all enjoy. Oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, what am I doing? I'm just trying to serve up some good flavors. Go to CarnivoreCompanion.com and check out our full line of seasonings. 5 unique flavors with no BS whatsoever inside of them. You can pick up the label and know exactly what you're about to eat. You can also use the code CarnivorousChef to save yourself 15% off your order. So why don't you go ahead and hop over there, put some good clean flavor in your life.